holiday edition of HockeyFansMail. It is December 28th, 2008. This is our holiday edition. We will not be back on the air until January 5th. And anticlimactic today on the trade front. Thought for sure there was going to be moves. Of course, the media sucked me in, as they suck a lot of people in. They sucked me in this time. I always try to fight it, but I got sucked in this time. And I thought for sure there was going to be something done, but I guess guys like Brian Burke and Kevin Lowe and guys like that aren't prepared to do anything just yet. Not that I think necessarily Kevin Lowe should just yet either. I still stand by what I thought about Edmonton, that they'd squeak an eighth. And Ottawa's, of course, there's rumors on Eklund's blog about a big Spezza deal. I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense for Ottawa to do it, but the legitimacy of that, who knows? So, as I said, this is the holiday edition. We've got a few things to talk about, so we'll get right to it. So it looks like the Minnesota Wild are not going to come to terms with Marian Gaborik. I mean, he turns down something along the lines of 8 years, $56 million. To me, he's nuts. I mean, he's playing. He averages about 66 games a year. I don't know. That's a lot of money for a guy like that who's injury prone, and that's a huge amount of risk. That means the last couple of years or something like that aren't even insured. I don't know why he thinks the team's going to pick him up long term. There are rumors that the Canucks would be interested in him for the playoff drive or the playoffs or whatever. And I mean, he did bring in an 02-03, I think it was. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd almost rather take a guy with a little more, I don't know, not so injury prone maybe. And now it looks like Paul Kariya is probably going to be out for the season. I've always liked Paul Kariya. I feel really bad for the guy. I think it was a semi or a hit for behind. I don't know, what this guy has to do, whether it's Suter going after him or other guys going after him. I really believe if Paul Kariya does not get cheap shotted the way he has, his career turns out a lot differently, similar to another guy, Cam Neely. And of course, by differently, I mean as much as he has shown a superstar level of play a lot of the time, I really think he would have been even better than that over the long term. There was a lot of talk tonight about Ovechkin's curve and whether or not it should be allowed and this and that, and how overdone it was, I guess they were saying. I remember when I was playing hockey growing up, the golden rule sort of always was, or the rule of thumb always was, if you can slip a dime through it, if you put it up against the wall and you can slip a dime through it, that it's probably not a good curve. Okay, now as you can see, you put your stick up against the wall like this, and I don't really have I'm using a lid to a storage bin, but it seems to be working pretty good. So what you do is you stick your stick up against the wall, and as I said, this is Tom Fergus's stick, and as we can see, we put the dime in there. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it in the light there. You put the dime in there, as you can see, I can't slide it through. Now it has to slide through on end, as you can see. So Tom Fergus was using a good stick, using a relatively average curve. And now here's my stick from rec hockey up in Grand Prairie here. We didn't have any snow in Grand Prairie, hardly at all. I came home and my truck had like a little drizzle, little top on the top, hardly nothing. So anyways, having said that, here's my stick from rec hockey. Now let's see if the dime goes through this. I have a feeling it's going to. Now let's see here. We got it on end. And yep, that goes right through, no problem. Nickel go through? No. Can we see it there? No, a nickel won't go through either. Okay. Or won't stop, it will go through. Maybe a quarter. Maybe a quarter will hold. Let's see if we can get a quarter here. Get some light on it. Now, quarter holds. And for Ovechkin, it's probably a toonie. Leafs Minute, not a whole lot to say. The holidays have not necessarily done the Leafs any favors. Last few games haven't been the greatest for them. Of course, I've been doing the Christmas thing. I haven't even really watched a whole ton of hockey. I did catch the game tonight, Washington against Toronto. I did see the game in its entirety, along with a couple other games. Tend to flick around a little bit, but what I will say is, I don't know. Toskala did play really well. The commentators really said a lot of stuff about him and how wonderful he was, and he did play really well. But I mean, there's other goalies doing that all the time and every night of the week. And I'm not saying Toskala is not doing. Part of it's his team. It's not all on him, of course. I mean, he's not the only one that's doing things. But I mean, tonight he let in the goal through his legs. I didn't think that was that good a goal. Ovechkin. I don't care who it is. That just shouldn't go in. Defense backed in maybe a little too far. I thought Caberlet was playing a really good game and doing everything pretty well. He was a little too lax, maybe a little too nonchalant at times, but he was getting away with it. I thought he was doing okay. And then he got burned. And what are you going to say? I mean, I was going to show it, but I decided not to. We all saw it. He kind of handed it to a guy in front of the net. A little bit too nonchalant. Thought his guys would be there for him. And I'm not just trying to pick on him. Fingers had a pretty rough 2 or 3 weeks. He's made a few bonehead mistakes out there. And those are the guys that got to get it done for you. They're the guys getting paid. I'm in Fingers' corner. Caberlet I view as an asset to move. And I guess, I mean, to some extent, Finger, too, if somebody was going to pick him up. I just don't think anyone was going to pick him up for that money. He's a little overpaid. I don't think he's a ton overpaid, but he is overpaid. So, having said that, not a whole heck of a lot else to say in Leafland, other than they slipped to 2 games below 500. And World Juniors, Canada beat the snot out of Germany 8-1, which is okay. They scored their goals and it was great and all. The Czechs, Germany, and but they didn't go overboard. But this game against Kazakhstan, they went overboard. 15-0 is a shameful thing to do to somebody. But then they'll say it's because of the goals for and the goals against, or goals for separates ties. And yeah, I get it, I get you. But just win every game. This is a team that's been winning for 4 straight years. Just win. Don't worry. You don't need to do that. Your Team Canada. You're the favorite. You should go in and win the tournament. You don't need to embarrass people, especially a nation like that doesn't have the money and the wherewithal to even have the kind of hockey programs, even if they wanted to. And it's just a shame to do that to those young guys. I feel bad for them. Even the World Juniors, and certainly in minor hockey, get rid of this goals for and just go by either goals against or go by least amount of losses and most goals against. I guess not least amount of losses. You want to go for wins, I guess, but after that, go for goals against. It's the better play. It keeps this kind of thing from happening. I just don't like it. I just think it's kind of tasteless and classless.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown.
So that's our show. Have a good holidays. We'll be back on January 5th. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope all the people that are stranded get home. And if you know one of those people or are one of those people, God bless. And don't forget the reason for the season.
Walking in the winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman.